If you're planning a cruise for 2026, do not make your decision before watching this video, because some ships are already filling up and prices have started climbing. Disney Adventure's maiden voyage? Sold out the day tickets went on sale. What about the others? That's exactly what I'm going to walk you through today. The 7 ships you need to know about, and the booking strategies that could save you thousands of dollars or help you secure a cabin before it's too late. And if you want to stay ahead of the cruise game with insider tips like these, hit that subscribe button right now, because I share this kind of content regularly. The stuff most passengers only learn after they've already made expensive mistakes. I've spent years working aboard cruise ships, watching passengers board with excitement, and sometimes leave with regret. Not because the cruise was bad, but because they didn't know what they were getting into. They booked based on a flashy advertisement, without understanding what actually makes one ship different from another. And 2026 is going to be one of those years where the difference between ships is more dramatic than ever. We're not talking about minor upgrades or new paint colors. We're talking about entirely new concepts that will change what cruising means. Some of these vessels will feel like floating theme parks with roller coasters and water slides. Others will feel like private yacht experiences, where you might forget there are other guests on board at all. The question is, which one is right for you? And more importantly, how do you actually get on board before availability disappears? Let me start with the ship generating the most buzz in the industry right now. Disney Adventure is unlike anything Disney Cruise Line has ever built. This is a 208,000 gross ton vessel, making it the largest ship in Disney's entire fleet, stationed in Singapore as their first year-round Asian home port. But the size isn't what makes it special. Imagine walking onto a cruise ship and finding a 250-meter roller coaster stretching across the upper deck. Not a simulation, not a virtual reality experience, an actual roller coaster called Iron Cycle Test Run, themed around Iron Man's technology. That's just one of 3 rides in the Marvel Landing Zone, along with Groot Galaxy Spin and Pym Quantum Racers. Families with children who love Marvel will essentially be living inside a theme park that happens to float. The ship also features 7 themed areas, including Disney Imagination Garden, with theatrical performances, Toy Story Place with splash pads and water features, and Wayfinder Bay, inspired by Moana with its own island atmosphere. Here's what many people don't realize about Disney Adventure. It was originally being built for Genting, Hong Kong as Global Dream, before financial troubles forced them into bankruptcy in 2022. Disney acquired the partially built hull and spent years transforming it into something entirely different. The ship includes a 3-deck-high storybook castle, the first castle ever built at sea, and something you won't find on Disney's American vessels. The maiden voyage launches March 10, 2026, with pricing starting around $1,060 per person for a 3-night cruise to nowhere, departing and returning to Singapore. Would you believe that tickets for the original maiden voyage sold out within hours of becoming available? Disney has announced this ship will be home-ported in Singapore for at least 5 years, as part of their collaboration with the Singapore Tourism Board. Now let me take you in a completely different direction. While Disney Adventure is built for maximum excitement and family entertainment, the Regent Seven Seas Prestige represents the opposite end of the cruising spectrum. This ship carries only 822 guests, which is less than 1/8 the capacity of Disney Adventure, designed specifically for travelers who consider cruising a form of elevated living rather than vacation entertainment. The Skyview Regent Suite aboard this ship is being called the largest all-inclusive luxury cruise suite in history. Picture this: 8,794 square feet across 2 levels, roughly 4 times the size of an average American home. It includes 2 bedrooms, a private gym, a sauna, a wraparound balcony spanning over 3,700 square feet, and even a private elevator connecting the floors. The nightly rate? $25,000. And everything is included in that price, from unlimited shore excursions to premium wines and spirits to flights and transfers. This ship represents the first new class for Regent in 10 years. And when a luxury line launches a new class after a decade, they're not making small changes. They're rethinking everything from the ground up. The ship features 12 suite categories, all with private balconies, and 7 specialty restaurants, including a new Mediterranean concept called Azure. The space-to-guest ratio will be among the highest in the entire cruise industry. The maiden voyage departs December 13, 2026 from Barcelona on a 14-night transatlantic crossing to Miami. Fares start at $6,499 per person for entry-level suites, which might sound expensive until you remember that flights, specialty dining, unlimited excursions, Wi-Fi, and gratuities are all wrapped into that single price. Speaking of enormous ships, let me tell you about Legend of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. This is the third vessel in Royal Caribbean's Icon class, following Icon of the Seas, which launched in 2024, and Star of the Seas coming in 2025. At approximately 250,000 gross tons, these are the largest cruise ships ever built by any cruise line in history. Legend of the Seas will carry over 5,600 passengers when fully occupied, and the list of onboard attractions reads like a theme park brochure. Crown's Edge is a hybrid skywalk and thrill ride that extends over the edge of the ship, giving you views straight down to the ocean. Category 6 is a water park featuring 6 different slides of varying intensity levels. Surfside is an entire neighborhood designed exclusively for families with young children. What's particularly interesting about Legend of the Seas is what's debuting specifically on this vessel that you won't find on the earlier Icon-class ships. Royal Caribbean has announced the Royal Railway, a dinner show experience that simulates a train journey with the theme of the Silk Routes. Imagine sitting in a dining car while the scenery appears to move past your window, all while you enjoy a multi-course meal. The supper club will be themed around the golden age of Hollywood. The main production show will be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. With 28 different cabin categories, the variety is staggering. The ship debuts in August 2026 with Mediterranean sailings before repositioning to Fort Lauderdale for year-round Caribbean cruises. Now let me introduce something that feels almost rebellious in the cruise industry. Four Seasons One is the legendary hotel brand's first venture into cruising, and they've designed it to feel nothing like a traditional cruise ship. With just 190 guests aboard, this yacht-style vessel maintains the kind of personalized service Four Seasons is known for in their land-based properties around the world. The space ratio is remarkable, providing nearly 50% more living space per guest than what's typically available at sea. Each of the 95 suites ranges from about 580 square feet to an astonishing 9,600 square feet for the largest residence. The construction cost per suite reportedly reached $4.2 million, but I need to be honest about something that confuses many travelers when they first research this ship. Unlike Regent and most other luxury cruise lines, Four Seasons One does not include meals and beverages in the cruise fare, beyond complimentary breakfast. This is a departure from industry norms in the luxury segment, and their philosophy seems to be that guests should have complete flexibility. The ship offers 11 dining and bar options, and the 2-deck marina provides direct access to the sea for water sports and wellness activities. Because of its smaller size, Four Seasons One can visit ports that larger ships simply cannot access. The maiden voyage is scheduled for March 20th, 2026, a 9-night Grand Mediterranean sailing from Malaga to Trapani. What about travelers who prefer a contemporary mainstream experience but don't want the overwhelming scale of Royal Caribbean's megaships? Norwegian Luna offers an interesting middle ground. This is the second vessel in Norwegian Cruise Line's Prima Plus class, at around 156,000 gross tons, with approximately 3,500 passengers. Large enough to offer tremendous variety in dining and entertainment, but small enough that you won't feel completely lost. The ship includes the Aqua Slide Coaster, which combines roller coaster elements with water slide technology, and the Drop, a 10-story free-fall slide that has become one of Norwegian's signature attractions. Ocean Boulevard offers a sweeping 46,000-square-foot outdoor promenade that wraps completely around the ship. What I find particularly compelling about Norwegian Luna is the Haven, which is Norwegian's ship-within-a-ship luxury enclave. On this vessel, the Haven is the largest in the fleet with 123 suites, including a 3-bedroom duplex that rivals dedicated luxury cruise lines. If you want access to Norwegian's activities and entertainment, but prefer the exclusivity of a private area with its own pool, sun deck, restaurant, and lounge, The Haven provides exactly that option. The ship will operate Caribbean sailings from Miami after a transatlantic positioning cruise in March 2026. Norwegian's freestyle dining concept means you're not locked into fixed dinner times. Now I want to tell you about something that represents the future of cruising in a way that none of the other ships can claim. Viking Libra, scheduled to debut in December 2026, will be the world's first hydrogen-powered cruise ship. This is not just a marketing claim. Viking has developed a propulsion system based on liquefied hydrogen and fuel cells, which means this 998-passenger vessel will be capable of operating with zero emissions. This is a genuine technological leap that could change the entire trajectory of cruise ship design in the decades ahead. Viking operates adult-only cruises that emphasize cultural enrichment, destination immersion, and elegant simplicity, rather than water slides and rock climbing walls. Their fleet maintains a Scandinavian design aesthetic with clean lines, natural materials, and a generally calm atmosphere. Viking's typical passengers want to explore ports deeply, attend lectures from historians and scientists, and enjoy evenings in relaxed lounges rather than crowded nightclubs. Viking Libra offers all of this with the added satisfaction of knowing your journey has virtually no carbon footprint. The ship features 449 cabins across 18 categories. Finally, I want to share what might be the most exclusive vessel launching in 2026. Orient Express Corinthian will be the largest sailing yacht in the world when it debuts, bringing one of the most legendary hospitality brands in history to the seas for the first time. With just 108 guests in 54 suites, this is intimate cruising at an entirely different level. The ship features the first-ever rigid sail propulsion system, created specifically for Orient Express, which combines environmental responsibility with the romance of traditional sailing. All 5 onboard restaurants operate under the direction of Yannick Aleno, a multi-Michelin-starred chef whose reputation in the culinary world is extraordinary. The suites on Orient Express Corinthian range from 485 square feet to nearly 2,500 square feet, and all dining is complimentary. The ship's design draws on the Art Deco heritage of the Orient Express train brand, creating an atmosphere that feels timeless. The maiden voyage departs June 6, 2026, a 4- to 6-night French Riviera itinerary based in Marseille. For travelers who associate cruising with crowds and chaos, Orient Express Corinthian represents something almost unrecognizable. A completely different vision of what life at sea can mean. So where does all of this leave you if you're actually trying to make a booking decision? The travelers who end up happiest are the ones who honestly assess their priorities before looking at ship features. If your family includes young children who obsess over Marvel characters, Disney Adventure is worth the journey to Singapore. If you're celebrating a major milestone and want everything handled, Regent Seven Seas Prestige offers peace of mind at a premium price. If you want variety with something for everyone in your group, Legend of the Seas delivers scale that's honestly hard to comprehend. If you value intimate spaces and personalized service, Four Seasons 1 brings hotel-style hospitality to the water. If you want freedom without fixed schedules, Norwegian Luna's freestyle approach might resonate. If environmental consciousness matters and you prefer cultural depth over constant entertainment, Viking Libra aligns perfectly with those values. And if you dream of something truly rare, where the journey becomes a masterpiece of design and cuisine, Orient Express Corinthian exists in a category entirely of its own. What I cannot tell you is which ship is objectively best, because that question simply doesn't have an answer. But as someone who has seen the industry from the inside, I can tell you that the variety available next year is unlike anything we've seen before. Whether you're drawn to the spectacle of a roller coaster at sea or the quiet elegance of dining under sail, there's a ship launching in 2026 that was designed with someone exactly like you in mind. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who's planning their next cruise, and drop a comment below telling me which of these 7 ships interests you most. Are you drawn to the megaship experience or the intimate yacht atmosphere? Does environmental technology matter to your booking decisions? Would you pay $25,000 for a single night in the world's largest cruise suite? Your answers help me understand what content to create next. Until then, fair winds and smooth seas, and I'll see you in the next video.